Hello everyone, welcome back. How are you guys doing? It's Azo, no special intro. Let's go ahead and get the channel here started. For any of you guys who are new, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It helps the channel grow, and for all of you returning viewers, thanks for making the channel the success that it is. It was interesting to actually run into other people who do, what the fuck, an 18-minute and 57 speed run. Sorry, I couldn't help it. It's just, it popped up on my thing. Yeah. Hopefully you guys are doing great. Yeah, give me a couple seconds, you know the drill. Let me get myself set up over here, and I'll be right with you guys. Also, did I even make my adjustments? I sure didn't. Okay, let me actually switch this over to starting soon, because I always forget to freaking do that. What? Yeah, I noticed his bag opens. That's where I was saying, the little person inside. Yeah, I noticed it. I'm pretty tired, to be honest. I mean, it's good to be back and, well, I mean, it's good to be broadcasting again, but, I gotta say, it was nice not having to worry about running across the endless abyss. Alright, let's move this over. And, no, what are you doing? Get back up there. And let's get it going. Hey, Dominic, how you doing? Welcome. Just getting back into it on my typical Monday here. Demon Pumpkin, welcome back. How was everybody's weekend? Ours was busy. I literally cannot remember what the last thing that I did was. You're sick? I'm sorry to hear that. Seems like you've been getting sick quite a lot recently. Alright. Well, I don't remember exactly what I was doing. I just remember I was running somewhere. So we're going to continue doing that thing and figure out where I am running to.
Did you give him a name?
I just named them Bard. Yeah. Each of them was named with their class. Alright, yep, we're just gonna keep running here. How we start off every great stream, with an infinite run cycle. I've also did come to a couple things. First, one of the big ones, I'm going to be keeping the stream to about 3 hours. I found 3 hours seems to be the sweet spot. I did some reviews of my analytics. It was good. It was nice. Nice being able to kind of just get away and exist for a while. I posted a picture in the Discord with a lot of the models that I went ahead and picked up. Still have that guy's soul, I see. Yeah, it's because I was running to the thing and it got late, and because there was stuff that we had to go ahead and do. Yeah, I wasn't able to go ahead and get it. So I'm going to take it all the way over there. And good thing that it didn't glitch. And my person... Can I get some... I was going to say some of the thing in there?
I only did 2 small squirts and it tasted very syrupy, so try one and see how it tastes.
Poor lizard, he's probably thirsty. Yeah, probably.
Some reptilians can go a while without water and they'll just lick their eyes for moisture.
Yeah, I mean, look at Mark Zuckerberg. I mean, that guy looks like he's constantly in a state of dehydration. So, it's about the prime reptilian, right? But, yeah, it just got a little too late, and since we had stuff we were going to do, I didn't want to go ahead and push it. But yeah, that brings me to the point. 3-hour streams, that's what you're looking for, so whenever I get started, you can expect 3 hours. I don't think I'm going to push more than that unless, like... Listen, if I can see the gold line within distance, you better believe I'm going to slam it. So... yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. Yeah, for those of you guys who aren't in the Discord or don't have Discord, I'll be posting a picture here on the YouTube channel so you can see some of the models and stuff. Would an Argonian thrive in a wet or dry environment? Argonians typically survive in dry environments. Their original place is the Black Marsh. Huh? I mean, a wet environment. That's what I meant. Sorry. So they originally come from the Black Marsh, which is obviously a swampland. They were created by the Hist trees, but because of the way that their physiology works and how the trees themselves can make adjustments to the Argonians, they could survive in practically any environment. I mean... a good example is in Elder Scrolls Online. There is an Argonian who works in... excuse me. I obviously haven't been talking as much, so my throat is not used to this anymore. There's an Argonian who works in a shop, right? But she doesn't have access to a lot of the mud and silts and like swamp water that she normally does. So she gets dry, itchy scales. So they can exist outside of that. But, yeah, you know, obvious side effects of, hey, I'm feeling dehydrated, hey, I'm feeling itchy, I need to wet my scales kind of thing. They can thrive pretty much everywhere. At the end of the day, it's whatever the history wants them to do. The Hist really does drive Argonians in whatever evolutionary direction it feels is appropriate for the species. So yeah, they could live in the desert. I'm sure there could be, you know, there could be Mahuadin Argonians roaming around, doing their thing. But mainly, they're better in swampy, wet environments. Okay, let me save real quick. Rest. Enemies nearby. Ah, see you. I'm glad that stuff like this doesn't have patches. Because, like, it would be so tiring. Imagine trying to play this game nowadays and constantly having to worry about, like, whether something's going to get patched. Whether your character is going to have to worry about coming back to some new thing. I would really hate that, having to worry about patches in this kind of game. What was the first... You know what? I'm going to look this up. I'm curious what the first game to really get serious, major, and consistent patches was. Because I know beforehand, there were games that... when there were issues with the games themselves, you actually had to send back the cartridge, or you had to send back the CD or whatever. Let's see. What was the first video game to have game updates or patches? Video games have constantly been updated. Earlier games simply would have later versions distributed with corrections similar. If you're referring to patches distributed by internet, that actually goes to Unreal Tournament. It would make sense, you know, having a competitive environment like that. I can see that. Also, I gotta make adjustments to this monetization subscription goal thing, so give me half a second here. I think for Daggerfall, you got the patches with CDs or floppy disks sent to you. Yeah, and that's what I was thinking. It would be later version updates rather than what we're normally used to. Let me check my channel here. What am I actually sitting at? 77. So we'll update this for 76. I don't want to jump the gun and then have it suddenly disappear, as can happen. Okay. Because I remember, like, back when you used to get things like the internet sent to you in a disc in the mail. That's a weird fucking sentence to say nowadays. I remember when stuff like that used to happen. You know, you could get all kinds of patches, and you know, they would do updates to software, and they would do updates to oh, that was actually pretty quick. Yeah, you're gonna see the gold and stuff. Hey, welcome back. How you doing? It has been a while, my good sir. What you up to? Alright, cool. We're good now. Just need to make some small adjustments to the subscription goal there. Came in at a good time. Your eye hurts. It's probably because you're sick. I assume maybe you got a headache or something there too. I am glad to hear it. Yeah, we've just been pushing through content here. I'm trying my best to go ahead and get through as quickly as I can for everybody here. Am I going the wrong way? I sure the fuck am. I need to be east? No, I'm going the right way. Okay. I got scared for a second. I do need to correct to hard east. Keep going straight there. But yeah, I gotta say, I am enjoying this challenge, but also, like, it's such a long challenge. It's really tough to, like, keep interested in the challenge, if it makes sense. It's not that there's problematic, and I do think it's actually really cool. But, like, yeah, endless running through the desert gets just as tiring for you guys as it does for me. So, but yeah, I mean, back in the day, yeah, you used to get like magazine subscription things, and they would be like, try AOL 3.0, download this disc to go ahead and get access to the wonder and amazement of the internet. And like, it was pretty weird because, you know, you guys don't really think about like modems and stuff. I mean, I don't even know how many of you guys know the noise of the internet. You probably are familiar because you knew it used to make a noise, but the yeah, all of that noise. Yeah. It's just weird thinking about having to like put a disc or a floppy in the computer to access the internet. And it's funny because they would give you like X number of minutes, like 900 minutes of internet access for free, you know. Can you imagine people who got on there, went 900 minutes of internet access, okay, I'm going to try this, and they were like, you know what, nah, this internet thing, I don't think it's going to take off. And I know that there were some people who did say stuff like that, but, man. I know that there was a guy who, he famously said, this internet thing, I can't see it taking off. It's just a fad. Imagine being that guy. Hell, imagine being the guy who was like, video games, that's never gonna take off. I'm glad to see my water walk is still going after this many episodes. That's pretty crazy. I also got a real nasty, like, scratch on my chest. I don't even know how it got there. I must have been sleeping in the night and had an itch and, like, just Wolverine the shit out of myself. Multiple times. In the same spot. Because, yeah, like, it's just this big gouge. It finally started itching and scabbing over, and I was like, oh, this is the worst! I think it might get easier once you get through Daggerfall. No fast travel through Morrowind should be a breeze and shouldn't take that long. Well, yeah, I mean, I think I'm looking forward to playing out Morrowind, because it'll feel more like the streamlined experience that I'm used to with an Elder Scrolls experience. Mainly, it's not even just the 3D. It's mainly what stops me from doing stuff is the number one, the fact that the original games from Daggerfall and Arena, when they created quests, they created an infinite number of quests. They were designed to be playable forever. So your character can consistently go ahead and do quests and get things done all the time. Oh, that's funny.
So I guess the link tree just has the infinite Discord.
Oh, that's pretty cool. But yeah, it was designed for playability back then. So, I mean, you could technically do quests forever. Your character could exist as long as they wanted to. You could have houses in every city. You could have a ship in every port. You know, women in every home. But, like, when you get to things like Morrowind, you have more static quests with ending points. So, like, when you decide you're going to go do a side quest, it's not like, oh, I can go back and go redo that side quest. It's done. It has a finite amount of stuff in it, which I think is good. Sure, these games have infinite playability, but at the end of the day, I think you want a game that has some type of closure and conclusion. Without that, you're basically just creating... you're creating infinite playability, but, like, I don't know, it just doesn't have the charm. I feel like in order for your journey to give something, you really have to... I've risen from the depths of your mom to tell you about today's sponsor.
That really got me off guard.
That's a good one. That is a good one. And if someday I ever get sponsored, I will make sure to find the right sponsor to go ahead and, you know, dredge myself out of the womb to tell people about today's sponsor. How you doing, subs? You had a good weekend? Everything going all right? In case you didn't notice, we're still running. But yeah. I'm glad to be starting this again. But yeah, I'll put together a full thing, show everybody all the cool knick-knack doodads I picked up, and yeah. Then I'll go ahead and see about actually posting a regular stream schedule from here on. It may have some changes depending on my job and everything else like that, so you might see me broadcasting later in the day as we switch to more in-office hours and stuff like that. But you'll still get the same experience regardless. Sometimes it just might be later in the day. And I do apologize for any of our people across the pond who may not be able to go ahead and tune in. I know it's already difficult as is to do so, but I figure I'll give you the heads up right now, just in case they decide to go ahead and make changes over here in working environments. Yeah. I also have decided I may go ahead and do a panel at an anime convention. as well. I don't know which one I'm going to go ahead and do. I kind of have to put some stuff together. But I'm going to put all this financier bullshit to use. And actually do a panel. And I don't know, maybe if you guys are curious or interested, I can go ahead and set up something so people can participate and everything else. Alright, Demon Pumpkin, we'll catch you later. Go ahead and get some rest. Hope you feel better soon. But yeah, I'm really hoping that I'll be able to go ahead and get a panel here. I know I can do it. I've helped set up a panel before. I've helped do the registration and stuff like that at conventions. And I have the expertise and experience to be able to qualify for it, so they can't say, hey, what are your qualifications? I'm going to be like, I literally money for a living. So, yeah, I think that'll be fun. I'll give you guys the sneak peek beforehand. Maybe I'll go ahead and put it as a Patreon goal or something that I'll show everybody the prototypes and stuff beforehand before I actually do the panel, so you guys can give me feedback and whatnot. See if there's anything I miss, but yeah. So, anybody doing anything exciting this week, or do anything exciting this weekend? I know I wasn't broadcasting this weekend, so I'm sorry that the most exciting part of your weekend wasn't available. Let me take a look. Down and over, so... yeah, this should be almost exactly even where it needs to go. Man, I'm getting tired of all these scam callers. They're starting up all over again. I thought we were done with this bullshit. Bro, I still can't understand how you can tolerate Fallout 76. Because it wasn't a terrible game. I mean, yeah, like even nowadays, it wasn't a bad game. It didn't have the same aspects that like some of the other Fallout games did. It had a lot of inconsistencies. I wasn't a big fan of the VAT system. Why is it pay to win online and Battle Royale? I mean, because Bethesda. I mean, at the end of the day, that's all answered by Bethesda, you know. You know, I wouldn't even say it's pay to win, but it is pay to, yeah, pay to convenient. So I wouldn't really call it pay to win. You know, you still have to go ahead and play the game and do stuff to be able to win. But it is easier to do stuff if you're paying money. Plus, you know, the private servers and stuff, which allows you to go ahead and really take advantage. You know, being online, you could play by yourself, it's possible. But, I mean, the point of 76 was to be online. As for the Battle Royale, I will say, Fallout 76's Battle Royale is relatively decent in comparison to all of its competitors. Fallout 76's Battle Royale does a really good job of keeping a very level playing field, while also not feeling really outdated. So I'll give them that. Their Battle Royale system isn't bad. Like, the game could have definitely been better. The game itself was not great, but it wasn't terrible. I mean, it was fun. You know, from all of what I played in it, I really enjoyed it. There wasn't anything wrong with it. It was just, it was a little too clunky, and is when you first started out, multiplayer was kind of a mess. Um, Getting everybody situated in it was bad. The God Ghoul, the God Ghoul builds was really nasty. Hey Scout, hi Azo. Hope you had a good time. Break from streaming. Good to see you again. Glad to be back. I mean, I think you were in Luft's stream, what, yesterday, I think? Yeah. So, obviously you saw we were kind of enjoying ourselves there. I'm actually really enjoying Tiny Tina's Wonderland. It wasn't at all what I expected it to be. I'm still playing my way through Elden Ring. It's gonna be short. It's gonna take forever. But I won't be putting in as much time because I want to play through some Wonderland, because it's about the only other game that I was looking forward to aside from Forspoken. Yeah, Forspoken is about the only other game I care about. Now, if they come out and they decide, hey, guess what, guys? We're gonna release a new Dragon's Dogma. You're gonna hear me fucking screech across the universe. I will turn into, like, a fucking raptor. I will rapture myself right then and there, because Dragon's Dogma was such a phenomenal fucking game. And it's so unfortunate that it just doesn't get the recognition it deserves. Obviously, everyone who's played Dragon's Dogma thought it was a great game. I don't even let me see what came out at the same time as Dragon's Dogma, because it got overshadowed by something, but I don't remember what. What games came out at the same time as Dragon's Dogma? Oh, there's another game people recommend called Arise of Awakener. Let's see, two new Dragon's Dogma-like RPGs. Let's see, games like Dragon's Dogma coming out on Xbox, PS4. People that picked up Dragon's Dogma recently. Not flawless, but wow. Oh, hold on. Dragon's Dogma 2 leaks reveal gameplay. Hold on. I'm about to ascend, guys. Reportedly working out. It has been delayed to late 2022, early 2023.
It's a sequel?
I don't know. It's in development thanks to Capcom leaks, which accidentally revealed their full roadmap for years to come. Let's see. Dragon's Dogma, if you guys have never played it, it is such a good game. If you enjoy, like, a long play RPG kind of style with, like Dragon Age, or you really enjoy difficult games that force you to think, or you enjoy kind of semi-open world-ish gameplay you can specialize your character to do magic, or, you know, backstabby stealthy boy, or, you know, bush daka daka, you know. Yeah. Dragon's Dogma, I highly recommend it. Dark Arise is the copy that you want, because the original Dragon's Dogma has a problem and is not compatible with the Dark Arise version they came out with. So, yeah. Anyway, let me stop fanboying over here. Yeah, I guess it's gonna come out at some point, but nobody knows when, so I am very happy to see that. I can, you know, pass away gently in the night, happy. Please don't pass away gently in the night. This tastes like Jell-O. It straight up just tastes like Jell-O. No, it was the raspberry one. Or the blue lemonade thing. Straight up like sipping Jell-O through a straw. I can't say I'm a big fan of that Chompette.
Oh, the one I sent you.
Yeah. It looks too minimal for Chompette. That's the problem. But... yeah, I can't think of any other games that I'm really looking forward to. Like, Forspoken looks really good. But, you know, I'm a big fan of like, games where your character's, like, magic casting. Playing Rust, almost got a base down. Nice. That's pretty cool. Are you playing in a group or are you solo?
I finished my first challenge.
What was your first challenge?
The Conqueror's challenge. The running, the fitness.
Oh, that's
Like
funny.
adventure.
Just off of the...
I actually
That's
did
pretty
more
funny.
than I needed to finish it. I
Wow.
only did 10 more miles.
Wow, there's a lot of movement. Looking forward to Starfield and Lego Star Wars. I think the Lego series is really cool, and I do think it's really funny. But I've never really been one to play the Lego games. They never really appealed to me. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people love them and everything else, just not my cup of tea. Personally, I think Starfield is going to be okay, but I'm not holding my breath. You know, it might be just me, but Star Citizen kind of ruined it. Solo. My friend will be in my base. Okay, that's cool. Hogwarts Legacy. Listen.
Oh, I did
If y'all decide, if y'all are on, like, PlayStation and want to do some Hogwarts Legacy, I don't know, if it's cross-platform, we can do that shit too. But let me the fuck know. If it is open, if it makes me choose a house, I'm letting you guys know. I'm going Slytherin. I will not go Hufflepuff with you. No. No. You come over to the dark side. You come over to the people who actually...
I've ever done, like, quite the tribute, not tribute, but...
The things, which house do you fall into?
Yeah, every time I've done it, I've always gotten a Hufflepuff.
I either fall into Ravenclaw or Slytherin.
Well,
And I think
outside,
Slytherin's...
Hufflepuff on Windsor.
I think Slytherin is better. Like, okay, let's take a look at it this way if we're gonna get into Harry Potter nerdy stuff here. Slytherin may have the most wizards that are connected with, you know, the dark arts and stuff like that. But Slytherin has also produced some of the most powerful wizards and witches out there. Slytherin is not about being evil. Slytherin is about taking your potential and seizing it. It's about focusing your resolve. It's about reaching the cliff that you want to get to. And not all Slytherins are like, evil. Not every Slytherin has to go ahead and be like, Voldemort. You know, there's a lot of Slytherins out there that are probably just living their day-to-day lives. But yeah, I don't understand why Slytherin gets a bad rep because of all the bad people. It's a 1x1. Oh, so somebody's got some tiny little base and you're just taking it down? Is it like a 1x1 built in like the Ark fashion where they're meshed underneath the thing and the only thing you can see is a tiny pixel corner? Or is it like a 1x1 out in the middle of a field kind of thing? I completely forgot about Hogwarts Legacy. Love Bethesda, probably my favorite studio, so I'm beyond hyped for Starfield. Like I said, I would be happy about Starfield if it weren't for Star Citizen. But overall, I don't know. Bethesda has been very, very hit and miss. Bethesda has been very hit and miss for me. They create good games, But I don't know. Something about some of their stuff, it feels like whoever is at the top trying to go ahead and make monetization decisions, they're really messing it up for the company as a whole. My base is a 1x1. No, that's good. I mean, it consolidates, keeps everything small. So, are you meshing, or are you in a field? Because I've seen some really funny things when Rust came to PlayStation. The Ark players, Merlin himself was in Slytherin. Yeah, and that's one of those things that it's Slytherin is not about being evil. Slytherin is about reaching your potential. Slytherin just wants you to go ahead and be the best wizard or witch that you can be. You know. Slytherin also it has a ton of, what's it called? It has a ton of networking. What I notice is that Hufflepuff tends to go ahead. There are a lot of notable Hufflepuffs. Hufflepuffs, excuse me. Sorry, I'm having a H&R Hufflepuff. You guys probably don't know what that is. Show back from the 70s called H&R Hufflepuff, roughly about the same time as the Beatles and stuff came out, and Puff the Magic Dragon and all of that. Anyway, rant over. Yeah, let me look up some notable Slytherins, because I am curious of who was in it. Notable Slytherins. Okay, I'm not talking about, like, in the things. Okay, Lestrange, okay, cool, Merlin, Voldemort, Severus Snape. Okay, thanks for showing me the stuff I already knew. In history. Fallout 76 and Elder Scrolls Online, I think, were the only misses. It's because of the multiplayer. Their single-player stuff is amazing. I suppose I had my problems. I thought Fallout 3 was a really good game, but when they go ahead and release the DLCs for them, I think they really screwed the pooch on that one. I don't think their DLCs for Fallout 3 were that great. You can blame Bethesda for a lot of the monetization hell we're stuck in right now. Just because they decided to go ahead and release it. I mean, I guess technically you can blame us because we're the ones who decided to pay for it. But I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like Bethesda was kind of really responsible for causing some of what we have nowadays with all these microtransactions and everything. Man, they really don't have anything out here for Slytherins, do they? Alright, so I guess I can't, sit here and talk out of my ass about all the great and notable Slytherins in the history and past and stuff like that. But nonetheless, I still feel like Slytherin is I feel like Slytherin is actually a much better house than Gryffindor when it comes to things like, passion and loyalty and bravery and stuff like that. Because a Gryffindor will tend to go ahead and be brash and upfront and take everything on. But a Slytherin has the exact same qualities. Most Slytherins are not going to go ahead and come at you from behind like a snake. Slytherins will come at you head on, just because they're just as headstrong as any Gryffindor. I'll die on this Bethesda is great hill. No, you're okay. You're okay. It's fine. I get it. I mean, it's not to say the studio is bad. I don't feel all of their games have been great. And I'm sorry to hear that you have passed away in the line of duty. And hopefully you will be able to go ahead and take that base down and raid them properly. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with Bethesda. I just don't feel like they're the same kind of that they produce things with the same heart that they used to is all. And not to say, like, obviously that this is the pinnacle of all Bethesda or anything. But I do feel like you can tell the company's you know, target goal has shifted from producing a work of art that could really unify a player base. Because Elder Scrolls in itself, that's exactly what it is. It unified the player base. What's so bad about Hufflepuff? There's nothing wrong with Hufflepuff. Nothing wrong whatsoever. Hufflepuff is a really good house. A lot of Hufflepuff doesn't get the recognition because when you think of houses of Harry Potter, you think of Slytherin and you think of Gryffindor. You know who really gets screwed in all of it is Ravenclaw. Who the fuck even thinks about Ravenclaw? You think about Hufflepuff, you think about Gryffindor, and you think about Slytherin, and that's it. Nobody gives a shit about Ravenclaw. I mean, sure, Ravenclaw is smart. Ravenclaw, they can do a thing with a brain. You know. But what else are you really doing with Ravenclaw? I can't even think of Ravenclaw's actual contributions to stuff. At the end of the day, if you were to have a big war between all of the houses, you would have a lot of heroes pop out of Gryffindor. You would have some heroes come out of Slytherin, more villains come out of Slytherin, and even some villains come out of Gryffindor because they would have that chaotic good mentality that all evil paladins who think they're doing the right thing, you know. The one thing that I find about Gryffindor is because they think they're infallible, they're gonna do the right thing and do that paladin thing of, you know what, we gotta burn down this village to go ahead and spare this child. Murder every man, woman, and child that isn't the one. And then when the child comes over and takes a piece of bread from a shop that's burnt down, murder them too, because stealing is evil. You know, and that's the problem. I feel like Gryffindor suffers from a lot of I can't be wrong syndrome. And Slytherin tends to suffer from ends justifies a means. Hufflepuff would absolutely make up the majority of the fight and everything. You know who would have, if Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw ever decided to really team up against Gryffindor and Slytherin, they would absolutely win that fight, because they would have brains and bodies. Hufflepuff would flood the field, and pure numbers. They may not always be the strongest, they may have kind of a middle-of-the-board approach, but it's not like every Hufflepuff is not great. It's just that most Hufflepuffs are not, like, prominent, that's all. But they do make up the vast majority of everybody. So, yeah, and you have Ravenclaw, who would provide all the plans, the ideas, and everything else, and you have your Hufflepuff do the executions of it. Yeah, you could totally have a Hufflepuff-Ravenclaw alliance that would completely take out Gryffindor and Slytherin. Because at the end of the day, most of us are not going to be the houses that we think we are. If the Sorting Hat were placed upon us, we wouldn't get to choose, we would be placed where we are. I'd probably get stuck in Ravenclaw as much as I, you know, bag on Ravenclaw. So, I do agree there. Only time will tell if Microsoft buyout will make Bethesda go back to what they... Great game, Microsoft oppression constituting microtransactions. I think it's going to get worse. Microsoft is making decisions for the future of their profit margin. For those of you who don't know, and this is kind of old news at this point, but, you know, I keep track of this kind of stuff. Sorry. I had to take a drink of water. Bill Gates is no longer Microsoft. Bill Gates is no longer involved with Microsoft. So a lot of those decisions that you see being made are being made by a board of executives, and obviously being fielded by whoever is the CEO this time around. But I've noticed that the trend that Microsoft is taking is they, instead of coming up with innovative ways to set themselves apart from the technological giants that you have, they're just going ahead and buying up businesses that have already had a solid foundation, that are capable of producing an item that they want to go ahead and buy up. And that is a fine way to do business. But at the end of the day, it just seems like they're trying to minimize the amount of money they put into a project and maximize the amount of lemon juice they can squeeze out of these lemons. Sadly, I think it'll get worse too. I don't understand why everyone is happy that they got bought out. Because it probably saved Bethesda. At the end of the day, it's the same reason why a lot of people were happy that Marvel got bought out by Disney. Because they do sacrifice some of their freedoms and the ability to operate independently, but they gain the budget, the backing, and the ability to do stuff in-house. No longer will Bethesda have to reach out to some of these publishers or different companies and stuff to get stuff done. Microsoft has a ton of in-house operations, finances, and resources that Bethesda will be able to go ahead and reach out to or ask for any of their future projects, as long as they can present a good plan and say, hey, this is what we're looking at for profits. This is how our product is going to benefit you. I don't think it's a bad thing, but I do think it's a little sad, because we're going to start seeing more exclusives than we're used to. I don't think Sony is going to win this war this time around. Sony and Microsoft have been at this for ages, and this goes back a very long ways. If you want to see, like, one of the big Sony and Microsoft fights, I can actually point out one of the huge ones. So, before CDs and, like, the big cassettes and stuff like that, you had records. And I'm sure you guys know what records are. If I sound like I'm talking down or anything else, I'm not. I'm just trying to give a base overview so you guys understand where I'm coming from when I'm talking about this fight between these two behemoths of industry. When records kind of came to their close, there were two big ideas that came up at this time. There was the CD, which obviously ended up winning the fight, and there was the Laserdisc, which the Laserdisc was a very large kind of technology, just like it was like a larger version of the CD, and the Laserdisc was about the size of a record, right? Sony at that time had decided to go ahead and back the Laserdisc as their piece. And there was another company which was, I think, being helped by Microsoft, which had come up with the CD. So these two things came out roughly about the exact same time. Both of them were slated to be the next big piece of technology to advance everything. And the company who was supposed to go ahead and help produce the items for Sony's Laserdisc at the time, they defaulted on their contract and went instead to go work on the CD. They paid out the ass in fines and fees and stuff like that. And I believe the company eventually went out of business. But the fact remained that they still screwed the Laserdisc over, and it died in the water. And the CD flourished, and that's why you had CDs. So, Sony held on to that grudge. Fast forward to this next big project. You have two things coming out of the market at the same time with two types of technology. Microsoft decides it's going to go ahead and release this new thing of HD DVDs, high-definition DVDs that everybody can use because it's going to be the next big thing. And out of left field comes our underdog, Sony, throwing it out with the Blu-ray technology. And you all know who won that fight. The funniest part about it was that the companies who were originally against, like, Sony, they ended up failing out. And when they tried to go ahead and go with Sony, Sony just completely rejected them and said, you had your opportunity. You could have supported us the first time and been part of this. But now you're not coming over to our side. So yeah, like, Sony eventually came out with the Blu-ray technology and got back at Microsoft. And I think what we're seeing right now... what game are you playing? So right now I am going through the Elder Scrolls series. You may know it's the most current game in the series is Skyrim. This is part of the series that Skyrim is part of. There are 5 mainline games in it, which is Arena, Daggerfall, Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim. And I am currently on the second one, which is Daggerfall. I'm doing a no fast travel run through the entire game. As far as I know, this is the world's first. So, yeah, if I can finish it, I think I'll be happy with it. But yeah, it's a long time. I think I'm spent more on this than I have any other one, and I feel like I am going to spend longer on this title than I do any other one. But yep, Elder Scrolls Daggerfall is currently what I am playing. And for any of you guys who are out there and do want to go ahead and play Elder Scrolls Daggerfall, it is free and available on the Bethesda store. I cannot promise you it is the most amazing game, but I can tell you it is an interesting one. Okay, maybe with the advancing technologies like real-time lighting and such, this next decade will be a big boom for the indies and AA's. I can see that happening. The big thing that I see, it's really tough to take a look at it, because Sony just has the better hardware. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We can talk about Xbox and PlayStation, or whether you think one is better than the other. But at the end of the day, Sony's hardware it's stronger. This is not to say the Xbox is not a good system. It is an excellent system, and this is where the Xbox really shines, is the fact that it not only is more available, but it has a higher... It's more affordable. And at the end of the day, a lot of people are going to choose affordability and availability over hardware capacity and power. You know, you're going to have people picking up PS5s and stuff because they managed to get one, and because they want to play some of the exclusives. But I hate to say it, but I think Xbox is going to win this. And I'm kind of curious because I thought about this just recently. I would not be surprised if some of the scalpers that are coming out are actually working for Microsoft, and they are purchasing up some of these PS5s just to keep them out of the hands of the consumers. It seems like it would be counterintuitive because they're putting money in the pockets of their competitor of Sony, but they're keeping the product out of the hands of the consumer. If I had the opportunity to go ahead and sink some money into taking away my competition, sure, I'm putting money in their pocket, but if none of the consumers are using it anyway, they're bound to eventually shift over to Microsoft to purchase more Xboxes. So this PS5 scarcity is going to play out in Microsoft's favor in the long run. It's only a matter of time. Get it at Daggerfall Unity for a smoother experience. What you're gonna say is happening? What were you gonna say is happening today? Oh yeah. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, what we're looking at is the fact that Microsoft's products, the new Series S, or it's called the Series S, right? The new Xbox system. Okay, the new Xbox system, I think it's called the Series S. I don't recall. What we're looking at right now is the fact that I have on my list of friends on PlayStation, some of the most die-hard PlayStation, like, fanboys, that are buying their first Xbox strictly because of availability. And they're saying, wow, this is so good, I don't think I'll ever go back. And I'm just like, whoa, that's crazy. To me, it doesn't matter. You know, I care more about the game than I do about the system. If I gotta play it on computer or PlayStation or Xbox, if I can just fucking plug it into my toaster and, you know, attach a Dreamcast controller to it, you know, fucking snazzy, I'm fine with that. But you're having this scarcity issue is now kind of drawing people towards Xbox. And I think with the Game Pass as well, that's just, that Game Pass is pure gold. Give the man who thought of that idea a raise, and give him a bonus, because that Game Pass alone is going to sell the Xbox. And I'm sure people have debated this till they're red in the face, but I think it's coming to the point where we're finally starting to see everything even out. PlayStation is consistently making their sales and stuff, but they're not making much in games because no one can buy PS5 games, or no one's going to buy them because no one can get a hold of these systems. And if I sound like I'm like going into it, it's because these two companies have been going at it for a long time, and I think this is finally starting to reach ahead. The question really becomes, what are they going to do with all this extra money? I know that PlayStation is going to come up probably with a Slim version at some point, as they do. They're going to be like, hey, here's a PlayStation Slim. You know, I can't even see a PS5 Slim. What are they going to do? Take the collar off of it? Give it a different trench coat? But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much how I see it. I think Microsoft is going to win this console war eventually. It's just going to take some time. Especially because Sony is not doing a good job of buying up studios that would be helpful to their cause. Hey, Biscuit Buzzer. How you doing today? How was your weekend? Oh, heck yeah. Oh, we're officially in here. So, Scourge Barrow, I think, is... Take out these homes. Scourge Barrow is, I think, this one right here. Yeah, Scourge Barrow. Honestly, I hope they both crash and burn. I know it's unlikely, but I just hate the monopolies. As long as there's competition, there's no monopoly. I mean, we're looking at a biopoly. It was okay. It was okay. I really got the chance to get out there and enjoy myself. It was nice not having to worry about the stream. No offense to you guys. It's just, when I don't have to think about the stream is usually a pretty good day. You ate like a pig. What'd you eat today? The real issue when it comes to this two-console system right now, it's the same issue that comes up when you discuss politics. It's the same issue that comes up when you discuss countries versus other countries. No matter what you come out with, any independent thing or any third company who comes into the fray is going to have to go ahead and is going to have to deal with both of those companies out maneuvering them with money and being bought out. Like, the only people who could really stand up, because Nintendo's there. Like, a lot of people tend to forget Nintendo's involved in all of this fight. But, like, Nintendo doesn't have to worry. The Switch sells itself. Nintendo will always make its money. Biopoly to me, this one. 4 eggs with a load of butter and cheddar and a few fistfuls of peanuts, all in like 30 minutes. 4 eggs with butter and cheddar. Were you making an omelet? Peanut omelet? Also had a full dinner and some breakfast as well. Damn, sounds like you've really been eating. Alright. Save. Rest. And continue running. Also, for those of you who are in today, I've come to the decision I'm only doing 3 hours a day, so just prepare for that. We're already through our first hour, so I figure I'd give you guys the heads up. So 2 more hours, and that'll be it for today. You know, unless we're right in front of something, or there's something like literally just across the goal that I can push a little more for. But other than that, we're gonna keep it to 3 hours from here on. So that way I can go about my merry day and actually do things that I'd like to do. But yeah, I mean, any new competitor that comes up is probably going to be bought by any one of these big ones. You know, if they're a good game developer, they're probably going to fall under Microsoft. If they're coming out with some really good technology, Sony's probably going to snatch them up. And if they're a little bit of both, more likely than not, Nintendo will try and pull them into the fold. Nintendo has pretty strict standards. I feel like not so much anymore. I don't know what happens in Nintendo, but they haven't been doing the same great stuff that they used to in the past, and I feel like when they started opening up a lot of their Nintendo store to a bunch of other people, I feel like the quality of their work went down. The eggs were like stirred around in the butter and stuff, and I had peanuts after because I'm hungry. Huh? Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was saying it's basically an omelet. Okay, cheesy scrambled eggs. Yes, got it. It's very understandable, Aza. You gotta have a life outside of streams. I do, just not a very exciting one. Wow, she hasn't moved. Hold on one second. You alright, girl? She just stretched and looked at me. You good, girl? You're okay. You can stay there. It's okay. It's okay. You're a good girl. Oh, she just keeps looking at me with them doe eyes. Okay, your question?
The thing, when you're doing the thing, does that like go away when I start?
Which thing? You would have to change the name. What exactly are you making the adjustments for in Streamlabs?
It's like recent fall.
So what happens is, and that's what I found out when somebody finally did it. If you go into the actual thing and it has like a bracketed formula or something that says like name, insert user, brackets, whatever, that won't exist until it actually exists. So say somebody hits a donation, or say somebody, then it'll go ahead and supplement the data that it grabs, plug it into the formula, cause it to go whatever it's going to do. Yeah, you don't have to touch it. The other stuff, if you replaced any of it and it doesn't have a bracket or careted insert, will be there as a permanent thing. Like how I have in the corner, join the Moon Cruise sub today. It stays there. So yeah, we're doing some adjustments. We ran into a couple people, and some VTubers. So now she's making adjustments on her stuff. Yeah, my life has been pretty much the same. I don't have anything crazy fun to speak of, or whatnot. I do, however, have a lot of Gundam models. And all of these Gundam models I got... For anybody who knows Gundam out there, don't judge me, because I'm about to tell you guys what I got here. I bought 5 Zaku units. I bought 4 MS-06 Zaku 2s, which are the standard Zaku unit that you think of when you're thinking the Xeon mass production model. A Zaku 1 sniper unit, which I was very happy. I'm going to be using those 5 units. I'm going to put them together and... Oh, I just realized they are all Gunpla series. That's perfect. Oh, except the sniper. I don't know if it's considered as Gunpla or not. Either way, yeah, it'll work. So, I'm going to be using those to work on something that one of my friends and I came up with a long time ago. We call it Aces. I can't get into more detail than that, but yeah, we'll be working on that. So I'm going to be using those to do some test runs for it. I also went ahead and bought an MS-06 Zaku 2, which, for any of you guys who know it, is the red Zaku suit. The Goof and Goof Custom. So I've got both of those. I guess it's a Goof Crimson Custom, which is part of the Breaker series. A Zagok, which is one of my favorite units, because it's considered a specialized unit, but I always think of it as Cutman from Mega Man. You know, Boomer Kawanger, or whatever his name is, throwing those little cutter scissor things. A Gelgug Marine, which looks really cool, because I'm a big fan of the parachute pants and the Dom units and stuff like that. And then Luft picked up for any of you guys, which are probably more familiar with this, one of the Gundam Death Scythe units. So she has a Death Scythe, and that's pretty cool. Yeah, we've been wanting to go ahead and do unit builds and stuff for a while. We just never really have the time, is what it comes down to. Whether it's one thing coming up or another, or I'm at work, she's at work, the stream's working, or many things. There's always something that stopped us from building these Gundam units. So hopefully this will be the time, and we'll be able to do something with it. I'm also eating some cheese and crackers, so don't mind me. Our local grocery store has a humongous cheese section, so we're just slowly picking out new cheeses and trying to find out what we really like. We got this damn super duper expensive cheese, and it was some type of black cheddar, but it was like a wax covered black cheddar. So I don't really know what it was, but they don't have it anymore, so we think it might have been a seasonal thing. Or, you know, they only release so much of it. But yeah, it was super good. And now we're trying to find a new cheese to fill in the void in our hearts that this cheese has left. Yeah, this is still gonna be a long run. I'm hoping it's quick though. I can see it taking roughly still about another hour or so to get there. But I'm hoping that I can find the Necromancer's Chamber pretty quick. Get that done and turned in. Stop at a village or wherever really quick. Then be able to get the letter from, what's his name? From one of the agents of the Underking. Man, some good European imported cheese with the red wine. And prosciutto. Prosciutto. My brain is like, prosciutto! Oh yeah, like, I used to really have a good sense of cheeses and stuff. When I was growing up, my dad and I, when we were on base, the commissary always would bring in new cheeses and stuff. So we'd go to the commissary, and every week we would pick out a new cheese. So, like, I've tried cheeses from all over the world. So I have a very healthy appreciation for the stinky cheeses. And the stinky cheeses that nobody really likes. Just because, I mean, it was just part of my childhood. You know, sure, some of those cheeses may stink, but man, they taste delish. You know, there are some foods in the world that their smell just does not give a good representation of your taste. But yeah, we found some good smoked Gouda. It's pretty Gouda. Bad joke is bad, I know. But, yeah, pretty delicious. It tastes like bacon. I'm just not so much even like a wine and cheese person, though. I've never understood that. Where people do like wine and cheese pairings. I guess, but it's never made sense to me. I don't feel like a wine. Like, the acidity of the wine is... I just don't feel like the base of the cheese flavor is going to create this percussion. I will never eat blue cheese, though. You'd rather die. There's nothing wrong... Why does everyone hate on blue cheese? There's nothing...
It tastes like vomit.
It does not taste like vomit. There is nothing wrong with blue cheese. Blue cheese is fine. It just doesn't smell great. And besides, there's a hell of a lot worse cheeses. You want to talk about some smelly cheese? Man, get within like 50 feet of some Limburger. That's a smelly cheese. That's a cheese that's too much. It's a very rich tasting cheese, but man, does that cheese smell. Limburger's a terrible cheese if you don't like cheese smell.
I tell you that I don't like the smell of blue cheese. It literally tastes like vomit. It tastes like I just finished puking.
I don't know what to tell you. Blue cheese does not taste like that to me. Blue cheese has a very sharp, slightly sour taste. Maybe it's just because I got that Neanderthal tongue or something. Chad Segan. This is very exciting. Well, hello and welcome, and don't you worry. There is many more trees in the future. This is just as exciting for you guys as it is for me. So don't feel like you're being ripped away from all of the amazing moments. Fast traveling this game is not something I would ever recommend to anybody. It's just as exciting as it looks. Run into direction, plot your path points, hope that you can make it to a city within a few hours, and continue on your merry way. It's just as exciting as it looks. I will say, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. The scenery is pretty nice, at least. The music, that will be the longest charge. Onions are good, especially with mushrooms. Yeah, good caramelized set of onions, phenomenal. Throw in a little bit of garlic with that. Yeah, that'd be perfect. The longest charge. The longest charge that I've had to do, I think was initially when I had to... So, I started out in Daggerfall, which is the beginning area. The longest and hardest charge when I first started was just getting from the beginning dungeon over to Daggerfall, over to the locations I need to get to. After that, crossing the bay for the first time from Daggerfall to Sentinel. I spent so much time getting prepared for that. My thaumaturgy was at like 70-something%. At least it's less boring than traveling on a No Man's Sky planet. I really enjoyed traveling on No Man's Sky's planets. I didn't think there was anything wrong with it. Also, Chad, how are you doing? You doing good? All right today? Everything doing fantastic for you? Welcome. I'll give you the formal welcome here. But yeah, I think the longest part was from Daggerfall to Sentinel, because I didn't know if I was gonna make it. I sat there and I went into a temple to go ahead and get potions. I bought a ton of potions. That's how settlers will be in ego perspective. If I even smell garlic and onions, you'll die inside. I don't know. I like garlic. Is great on many foods. So that's just me. But I also have a very high tolerance for just food in general. So I don't have a squeamish stomach. About the only thing that I've disliked was durian fruit. Yeah, durian fruit was not good at all. Imagine finding a rat on the side of the... Let me just keep going while we're having this discussion about the quote, king of fruits. Imagine, like, finding a rat on the side of the road that has been hit by, like, a few bicycles, right? And then picking up that rat and then, like, seasoning it with overripe onions and, like, then letting it sit out in the sun for, like, a few hours. And then, like, I don't know. Just, durian is disgusting. Just take my word for it. Do not try durian. I cannot imagine it being delicious to anybody. I still have to go ahead and try it at least once more, because my rule has always been try it twice to know if you like it or don't. Shirler had something said about he was gaming Settlers too. That's how everyone's reaction when I say that. I mean, it's just because it's a common... Forgot the publisher. His head while he was gaming Settlers too. Huh. I think one day I'd like to go ahead. I'd need a team for it, unfortunately. 6 corners will be the end of your journey. Isn't the, not... I thought that it was that big dungeon. Maybe it is, 6 corners. I don't know. This is also my first time playing through Daggerfall, so I'm doing it the wrong way, by doing no fast travel run of the entire game, so yeah. Clearly I'm playing it wrong. I will say though, you know, I've definitely optimized this with the 505 running speed. I will say it's pretty optimized. There's no mods or anything, so nothing like that. But I have completed I'm on my way to go ahead and complete the King of Worms quest line. I completed most of Sentinel, except for waiting for the Underking to go ahead and get back to me. So once the Underking comes back, then I'll deal with that. I delivered the thing to Orsinium, or I'm gonna have to deliver my letter to Orsinium from Daggerfall. I'm gonna have to stop over at Belfaria to get the dust, but I did deliver the stuff. So she's in the process of, quote, making the dust, whatever it is. And I think all I have to do is, let's see, turn in that letter. Let me take a look at my list. I have a whole list of what I have left for main story here. It's not too much. Not too much at all. I think I'm like 2/3 through the entire game right now. Main quests. So I have... Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have all of 6 main story quests left to go. We're not doing Concern for Nelfunga. Fuck that bitch. Minacera's letters, I don't give two shits about those. Mantella's robes, blackmail, Benaria's books, she can fucking die in a swamp. We're gonna deal with the orc, we're gonna deal with the underking, we're gonna deal with the tomb, you know, putting his ashes to rest, getting that totem, and then doing whatever else is required. But everything else is done. All I've got is those 6 main quests. I have to give it a closer look. Okay. Yeah, those are, as far as I know, I'm kind of just following along. I'm not doing side quests on here just because it would take too long, since Daggerfall pretty much has infinite side quests. And as much as a joy as it would be to run around the continent for the next year and a half, or 2 years, however long that would take. Yeah. I could see somebody trying to do, Berenzia's waifu, though. Like, I don't give a damn about Berenzia being waifu. She can daifu for all I care. Like I said, I don't have a... haven't found this dragon kid. But yeah, so as far as I'm concerned, like, she is kind of out of the picture for this thing. So if she gets blackmailed, see, now, if all of these carried together and your decisions from number 1 carried into 2 and Daggerfall into Morrowind and Morrowind into Oblivion and into Skyrim, if your decisions from previous games carried over into future games, you bet your ass I would be doing some of these side quests, making sure that some of these things are done. Yeah. You would see this thing stretch out for a way longer time. I'm probably going to end up giving the totem to, I guess whoever's closer. I really don't care who gets it, but whoever's closer is going to have the totem. It's literally as simple as that, for the sake of speeding it up. I thought about giving it over to Wayrest, because I feel like they would be the right choice. But there is a group of people that I have to turn it into in order to be able to get the cutscene and get everything done. So I'm sure that I've got to turn it into very specific people. So it's most likely going to force me to go ahead and run all the way across the continent to go deliver this thing to some person who I don't care about. Wow. This place is huge. I guess I didn't realize how big Dragontail Mountains are, because we're just going. Sitting here just running and running and running, still not going anywhere. Man, I gotta say, like, My throat is not having it. I mean, I'm enjoying speaking and everything. It's just like, after not really speaking as much or just doing a lot of yelling, yeah, my throat's like, what the fuck are you doing? Stop this instant. Halt! But yeah, in terms of the stream, I'm definitely hoping that I will be able to go ahead and get this piece knocked out within the next 7 to 8 days-ish. So how about politics and religion, though? Listen, we shouldn't have politics and religion mixing together. Separations of church and state. I much prefer them that way anyway. Not like that's ever gonna happen, you know? How do you feel that you being a Protestant is going to affect your decisions? That sword pays its looks. This sword would have been DLC nowadays. Would have been some paid microtransaction bullshit. It's not even that strong a sword. I mean, obviously it's a Daedric katana, but like, I'm only using it because I need to go ahead and have a weapon that I could, a sword and shield that I can run with to increase my speed. Other than that, because the be right back function of your Streamlabs is supposed to be a, hey, I'm gonna be gone for a moment. The intermission is, hey, I have a planned time that I normally do stuff, and I'm gonna leave my webcam up so you guys can see me in the corner, or you can see what I'm doing. The intermission is meant to be used for very long streams where you have planned breaks, and the be right back is meant to be a, hey, I gotta go do something, I'll be back in a second. Does that make sense? Drop in some Magic the Gathering cards. Listen, I can't say I have been a big fan of Magic for a while. I don't like a lot of the direction that Magic has gone. Magic was a good game at some point, but the power creep has taken it to a place that I do not like. I don't know. I myself run a very cancerous deck, so I don't really have much room to speak. But yeah. For anybody who does follow Magic, have you seen a Sliver Queen? Fuck yeah, I've seen a Sliver Queen. Fuck that jazz. You know, between a Sliver Queen, you know, the first Sliver, and just slivers in general. Slivers are nonsense. There is no reason. If you play Sliver, I just scoop. I'm not going to deal with slivers. I don't want to deal with the new slivers, which are weaker than the old ones. I don't want to deal with the old slivers. I don't want to deal with shadow slivers. You know, flying, muscle, them fucking first strike, double strike, you know, flappy ass shadow bitches. I don't want to deal with any of that. Slivers are a crack ass archetype, and I'm upset whenever I see a new sliver. I mean, it's cool that they exist. I think their lore is pretty cool. But, like, as a card, they're very unbalanced. Very unbalanced. It's the same reason why I don't like a lot of blue players, because they tend to play blue with nothing but nope. Cancel. 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 Card that isn't canceled that does cancel's effect. Card that does the exact same thing as cancel does but with removal. Card that goes ahead and does what cancel does but creates a 1/1. It's only a matter of time until they come out with a card that says, you know, counter target spell, take an extra turn after this one or something. Sliver, my lizard liver. I couldn't do that. Check out Onslaught Edition. I don't know. Slivers, I know when they came out with the new Slivers, I was excited to see them, but then I realized how broken they were. And when you play Historic when you play any older format and a Sliver hits the field, it's a pretty bottom, like, rock in the bottom of your stomach feeling. Because unless you deal with a sliver right then and there, it's problematic. Corona False God? It's okay, but I mean, if I'm gonna go that route, why don't I just play, you know, Mono Black Phage? I feel like Mono Black Phage would just be a stronger deck overall. Sure, it's one of those cards that, like, when it works, and when it doesn't, it doesn't. I mean, it's instant kill against the player if you can get Phage to work. I mean, it's not exactly the easiest to protect either, but it's got no protections, you know. As the saying goes, it's good, but dies to removal. Sliver is best played with double lands. I mean, any type of land, whether it's split lands, pain lands, you know, any type of split land is fine. I mean, slivers are almost always going to be multicolor. I can't think of very many decks that would be good with just monocolored slivers outside of maybe you could do Changeling. You could do monocolored Changeling. I'm not cool enough to know what these words mean. Don't worry, if you don't know what these words means, that's perfectly fine. Never, ever, 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 ever fall down the Magic the Gathering hole. It is the worst place you can be, and as you fall down that hole, all the money will fall out of all of your pockets and your bank account. Magic the Gathering is like that scammy guy who says, hey, come on into the corner, go ahead and play some Nigerian cards or something. And then one guy holds you up for your wallet while you're playing the game, and then all your money is gone, and then your clothes are gone, and then you're sitting there naked out in the rain. So... Hold the sword to direction. What do you mean? Yeah. Take it from somebody who's been playing Magic the Gathering a long time. Don't play Magic the Gathering. It's not that it's a bad game. The game itself is really good. But the monetization and the tactics and everything else that they use to go ahead and make money for the game, I don't think are good. Plus, the way that the power creep is going, it's pretty bad. It's funny because, like, and muscle slivers show itself on the end. I feel like, talk about costing an arm and a sliver liver. I feel like, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic, somewhere along the line, switched places. Because when I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! As a kid, Yu-Gi-Oh! Matches were fast. We didn't have combos, oh, there were combos, but you didn't have these big combos. And there came a point where Magic, like, where Magic had the super long turns, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Had these really quick, turns and everything, right? But now it's come full circle, where when you play a Yu-Gi-Oh! Match, you better freaking have the next 45 minutes of your life available. Because somebody's gonna go ahead and cast a combo, and then they're gonna synchro summon, and then they're gonna go ahead and exceed summon, and then they're gonna go ahead and exceed into an exceed, and they're gonna use that thing to go ahead and do another synchro. They're gonna use the materials from the graveyard to go ahead and pull it out to pull off another synchro. Then they're gonna do another exceed summon, and they play out their field spell, which allows them. It's stupid. The amount of stuff that people do in a turn in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is ridiculous. There's no reason you should be taking 45-minute turns. Or, 15, 20-minute turns. I should not be able to go to a Starbucks, grab a coffee, come back, and you're still doing your stuff. Oh, sliver liver? Now, I get it. If you don't know anything about Sliver Scout, they are a species that, when one member of the species gets an evolution, all members of the species get an evolution. they basically evolve as a whole, but only in proximity of one another. So if, let's say, one sliver develops wings, all slivers now have the ability to develop wings as long as they are within a certain radius of that initial sliver. That's why sliver decks in Magic the Gathering are loved and hated by the community. They're loved because they're really fun archetype to play. They're hated because they're a really terrible archetype to play against. But yeah, there's that. I don't even know what you're going on about anymore. I mean, hell, I'm one to speak. I don't even know what the hell I'm going on about. These words are so fancy. Also, Esperanto, Jesus, has some... what do you go... Yeah, I have no idea what's going on here. Are you okay? Also, I can tell you Esperanto is a language that was created to go ahead and be a world language by mixing a bunch of the primary Romantic languages, so that way everyone could speak a unified language. But then Esperanto fell on its ass, 6 people speak it, and completely forgotten language.
Hither to me, as I Esperanto thine sliver with the Ramairu. Embark and behold thy light in thy starry sky.
I mean, maybe. I could see that. I think a lot of people are starting to realize that a lot of these AAA titles are not as... I've seen enough. Alright. But I can see a lot of these people are... I think they're starting to really get fed up with AAA titles. To be frank, I don't think there's anything wrong with AAA titles. Just the heart of the community really lies in the indie community. Or a lot of these old-fashioned games. I mean, it's the reason why Doom is still popular, even after all of these years. Like, when somebody's playing Doom, people are going to go ahead and check to play it. Nobody actually wants to play it themselves, but they do want to go ahead and watch somebody else play it. I mean, it's the reason, you know, GDC exists. It's the reason why, you know, games done quick and everything else is a thing. It's why speedruns are so popular, because nobody wants to play it. Everybody says that they want to play it, but nobody actually does. They just want to watch somebody play it. So, yeah, that's one of those things that I'm always like, When someone's like, man, I want to play this super old game, I'm like, no you don't. You see somebody playing this old game, you want to experience what they're playing, but you don't actually want to play that old game. Alright, for those of you who haven't been here for a bit, We're just now coming into it. We are just past the halfway point for our stream for today. The stream schedule has officially shifted to 3-hour streams, Monday through Saturday. Sunday is my day off, so I can recalibrate. I'm not going to do that whole let's stream every single day thing. My brain almost fell out the last time I did it. So, yeah, we are shifting to a 3-hour stream schedule every day. Maybe the occasional 4-hour stream, but I'm not going to exceed 4 hours for a stream in any given day. Even if I'm sitting there well, I mean, if I'm sitting there right in front of the goal, maybe I will. But either way, hello and welcome to any of you new people. For any of the returning viewers, thanks, guys. And I just want to make sure you guys know. We are slowly making our progress here. For those of you, the last time I checked, I was like over here somewhere. So I'm kind of sad that it's taking such a long time to get anywhere. Naomi, hello and welcome. How have you been? How was your weekend? We will eventually be passing into this country, and then we just need to get over here to this thing, so yeah. I'd like to say this is going to be quick, but you guys all know this is not going to be quick. This is basically going to be like watching a piece of butter crawl its way down a skyscraper. Yeah. But yeah. In the meantime, what else you guys got? We've had a whole bunch of conversation here today. Aside from, you know, talk about PlayStation and Sony, and who I think is really going to win that war and the history between their big rivalry. I think you just playing a bit of Fallout 76 had a break from Destiny. I'm doing alright. I'm doing pretty good. We officially just switched to a 3-hour stream schedule. So every day will be 3 hours, give or take. You know, at least 3 hours. Nothing more than 4 on any given day. But yeah, I'm doing fine. Just existing. I also have a bunch of Gundam models that I'm going to go ahead and be putting together, and I'm going to share that out with you guys on YouTube, so if you're curious, I'll probably end up recording it, exporting, maybe do some editing, putting this stuff together, put it on there, and also show you all the models that I've gotten to work with. Do I go to Starbucks often? I go to Starbucks almost never. I'm not a big Starbucks person. I throw my hat in with what I consider one of the greatest coffees ever. Café de Bustelo. It is the yellow and red can of coffee. It is wonderful. It is considered an espresso, so you only need like 1 cup of it. But man, does it make you go. It is a wonderful coffee, so I would highly suggest it for anybody who likes that kind of stuff. Who likes coffee. Café de Bustelo. You can find it in your local supermarket. Hashtag not sponsored by Café de Bustelo, but if I was, I would absolutely tout it out everywhere. Listen, if I got sponsored by them, I would literally fucking drink it every day. It's such a good coffee. It's aromatic. It tastes decent. Like, it just gives a kick in the butt. Oh, man. It is by far my favorite coffee. Unlike stuff like Death Wish, which, you know, very strong coffee, but, you know, not exactly what I would consider the most aromatic or best smelling coffee. Café de Bustelo at least makes you want to drink it. Not approach it with a 10-foot pole just so you can go ahead and get a jolt to your nuts. Oh yeah, and it's not expensive at all. For a coffee that will absolutely do the job, smells great, tastes good, doesn't seem too acidic or anything. It's a great coffee. I don't think you can get a better coffee for your bang for your buck than that. So, yeah, I highly recommend it to anybody who does drink coffee. But yeah, not a Starbucks person, mainly because I don't like a lot of their coffees. Arabica, I don't think is that great a bean. I know it's like the most common type of bean that you get in coffee, but I don't think it's that great. Not to mention the amount of, like, sugar they put in a lot of their stuff. You know what's cheaper? Alright, hit me up with it. I don't drink coffee, actually. I don't have a recommendation in terms of tea, because I'm not much of a tea drinker myself. Are you an energy drink person, Propane? I don't know what your poison of choice is, so... I firmly agree. Eating coffee granules and drinking some water? That sounds disgusting. I feel like you would be better off going ahead and just making a pot of coffee, though. Poison of choice was soda, but I stopped drinking it after it affected my liver. I get that. I knew a dude who... He used to drink, like, Mountain Dew all the time. All the time. Man, he had, like, pyramids of Mountain Dew cans. Then eventually it just took a toll on his body and he just cut out soda. Stopped drinking it entirely. He was cool people. Him and his family are a bunch of firefighters, so... Super cool peeps. But yeah, it's just one of those things. I cut out soda. I really don't drink much soda. Maybe occasionally here and there, but nah. If I have a choice of drink, usually it'll just be water. Ooh, that's nice. That's fancy. Luft is working on her stream stuff, so I'm watching it from here. It's really cool looking. Aw, that's kind of cute. You know what would be really good? Eventually, when you get the chance, turning it into an animated GIF where it goes like, it does a kissy noise and poop and pops in. Which widget? That will... I don't know, you're gonna have to go in manually. Have you tried double-clicking into it? Okay, we'll work on that or something later. Also destroyed my teeth, I don't recommend it. Oof. Yeah, a lot of people tend to forget that soda is pretty acidic. You know, have too much of it between the high acidity... Excuse me. Between the high acidity, the sugar content, and the carbonation itself. Authentic homemade chai will send you to a place of bliss you didn't know could exist. Hey, that rhymed. You did it. I don't know. I'm just not much of a tea person. Like, tea is okay. I can drink... I always have to tell people this. There are a lot of things I may not... Hey, welcome back. How you doing? There are a lot of things that I don't like, but there are very few things that I won't eat. Like, even if I don't like something, I can still eat it. It's not gonna stop me eating something. Even if I don't like it. If somebody sets something in front of me that I don't like, I'll still eat it. I'm not a big fan of tomatoes, but I've got no problem with them. It's just one of those things that I tell people. Just because I say I don't like something, don't go out of your way to try and change it. I'm just saying it's not my preference to eat that thing. Not that I won't. Just that I don't prefer it. I guess that's the better way to put it. That I prefer to not eat a food rather than I don't like the food. Doing good. I love tea. Oh, do you now? Let's see. There was one tea that I had that was pretty good one time. I can't remember exactly what it was. But I used to drink a particular type of tea. God, this itches so much! Sorry. I have like a... There's like a scratch on my chest, and it's starting to like heal, but it itches so bad right now. I just want to like slap it continuously. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna mute the mic because I'm about to slap the shit out of my chest. Hold on, guys. Okay. It was really fucking loud. Us Brits always love our tea. You guys have literally... Yeah, tea has been a driving factor. Oh, she just shifted position. She must really have been exhausted. She hasn't left in there. She's been sleeping all day in there. I hope she's okay too. Are you okay, girl? No response. So we just get ahead and picked up the dog from the, what are they called? Yeah, from the boarding house that she was over at while we went on vacation. Well, while we went out. And yeah, she came back really sluggish and everything else, so we're trying to make sure she's okay. We don't actually think that they gave her the toy that or the pillow that we said, and to say, hey, here's her pillow, she sleeps with this. It doesn't look like they gave it to her because... Yeah, it has no hair, it doesn't smell like her. It's got these weird spots that look like it was like thrown in a corner or something like that. If an Indian offers you chai, do not turn him down. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. Store-bought chai doesn't even compare. You know, if somebody offers me, like, food or something, I will never be an ungrateful guest. I will always try and go ahead and take them up on their offer. So... I do my best to ensure that I am a gracious host, and a tolerable guest, whenever possible. London fogs are the bomb? Oh, just, you know, existing, living out in the UK, you know, where everything's overcast all the time. I don't know, I'm just making an assumption as a dumb American, so tell me if I'm an idiot. Where everything's overcast all the time, you know, constantly being invaded by alien species, and having some random phone booth show up all over the place, you know, always having to worry about what citizen is going to be snatched up by the guards to be fed to the immortal queen today, you know. I can only imagine you guys must live in fear in the UK, always wondering if today is going to be the day that you meet the queen, and she will unhinge your jaw and suck out your soul. It is literally... Oh, I have no idea what a London fog is. I only know an Irish car bomb and a Long Island. Never heard of a London fog. You know, I know the big debate always comes up, milk or no milk. And I think that's pretty evenly split between the community. You know, you're gonna have people on both sides of that debate, but... I personally don't... If I've had tea, I don't put milk into it. I kind of just like my tea how it is. I'll put milk in my coffee, but... Nah, not in my tea. The Queen is just an immortal android at this point, guys. Black tea with steamed milk on top. Ah, okay. Yeah, that would...
I've had something like that.
Yeah, I'm not a milk in my tea kind of dude. It's not my thing. I don't know. I mean, it's the question really becomes like, so who takes over in the line of succession after the Queen?
It was supposed to be what's his face that married the actress.
Yeah, it was supposed to be
now it's-
Henry. So
It's the
no milk and tea. Asa, are you okay? I just don't like milk in my tea. That's all. If it's drip coffee, I like it black, but for black tea, I like milk in it, just a splash. I don't mind honey in my tea, but I wouldn't say I'd prefer honey in my tea. Yeah, like I said, I'm also not much of a tea drinker, so for me, like, if I'm going to go ahead and drink tea, Republicans are cancer. Oh, wow. Hey, can you handle that one? Hey there, Republicans are cancer. I see that you have found your way to my stream. Hello and welcome. I'm gonna let my moderator go ahead and take care of you. But here's how I'm gonna go ahead and handle this one. First off, why would you do that? Why would you come into somebody's stream and like do any of that? Like, what's the point of it? I don't exactly know why you would go ahead and do that. I'm giving you your platform for the next minute because I'd like to go ahead and address the fact that you came into somebody's stream and decided to go ahead and spout some stuff like that. Why would you do that? It doesn't get your point across. It illegitimizes your, like, ideas. If you want to have a discussion, the best way to go ahead and have it is a discussion, not walk into... No one walks into a fucking library and screams, you know, Jane Austen is terrible, and gets, like, any legitimization. If you want to discuss stuff, I have no problem discussing things. But if you want to come in here and act like a small child throwing a temper tantrum, you're going to be treated as such. You're more than welcome to stick around. Just don't be an asshat. It's, like, one of my only rules. Good chat. One of her sons will take it, if not, I couldn't tell you. Yeah, I don't know which son, I just, you know, I don't know the lines of succession, so. What do you like to do? A lot of stuff. I mean, it depends on what you mean. Like, I enjoy writing, drawing. Obviously, video games are a hobby, otherwise I would never fucking do something like this. I enjoy creating things. I'm really big on, like, imagination and, like, crafting stories out of thin air. I think it's why a lot of people enjoy my style as a dungeon master for Dungeons and Dragons. Because I have the ability to take grapefruit and turn it from just a singular piece of fruit into, like, the MacGuffin of MacGuffins. It's just how my brain works. I take an idea, and how I've always designed my stories is I've always worked from the ending backwards. I think it's the easiest and best way to go ahead and design a character, or to design a story. A lot of times I found that writers tend to go ahead and get stuck coming up with a way to end their story, or coming up with a way for their characters to develop. And when I think of a character, I don't think of how they're getting there. I think of why they reached the end that they did. Did they get hit by a car at the very end? Were they exploded by some magic spell? Did they reach their goals? Did they almost reach their gold? Minecraft, I think you would like it. I definitely do like Minecraft. I've played it quite a bit. I mean, hell, if it weren't for that whole failed, like, thing where I tried to do a hardcore inventory-only playthrough, I think I would have really enjoyed it. But yeah, I enjoy Minecraft quite a bit, actually. I've played it since beta. It's always been a calming, relaxing experience. I don't know if so much anymore, though. The more I think about it, the less that I feel inclined to play Minecraft, though. It's not because it's not a good game or anything. It's because its creation process is tedious. Even if you're using macros, even if you're using world edits, in order to really create something, you still have to take a long time to do it. Even with world edit tools, you're not going to be able to create the exact stuff that you want to create. If you copy and paste, then you're just copying and pasting from somebody else's build. You're still going to have to build it by hand. My specialties are walls. I build very large, intricate walls around cities and stuff like that. You know, with fully functional redstone doors, minecart tours that you can take around the entire things, large moats that you can have on the exteriors with designs you can push across the entire wall. That's my specialty. I really like designing walls. Because, you know, when you see a city, the first thing that you're going to see in a medieval-style city is the protection that is offered by the city itself. Whether it's the stone walls around a fort, whether it's the walls that barricade off and partition each of the junctions into a country, whether it is the protections around the castle itself or the townspeople, like, those things. Walls are my favorite things to build. Springtime feels good. Springtime feels great, except we're in this weird state where, like, by weird state, I mean, like, the outside. Like, it's been hot, and then it's been cold, and then it's been hot, and then it snowed, and then it's been cold, and it can't make up its damn mind. It is constantly in a state of fluctuating up and down and back and forth and everything else. I actually kind of liked it when it was the big one. More to the right so you have your...
I can move them.
Yeah, you don't want to move them. They're good where they are. You want to move her. Yeah, I think that's good, because you always want to display her out there, so... I'm very random today, apologies, trying to stay with the combo. No, you're okay, you're good, that's how never worry about that. Conversations evolve how they evolve. Nothing wrong with taking the conversation into a different direction, because that's how conversation works. No one stays in a static conversation. That's why when you start with hello, how are you, blah 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 blah, you eventually work your way up into you know, how does the dichotomy of, you know, dolphins and shellfish economics work, or whatever bullshit you come up with. Yeah, conversations should always flow. So give me half a second. You may hear my stream come up in the background. I just want to let you guys know. There we go. Give me a second. I'm making some adjustments here real quick. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. I'm at Michigan right now. I like it here. I miss England, though. What brings you over to Michigan? Interesting place to be. England's at top line places to visit being on a bucket list. I'd like to go ahead and go to England, but as I've said before here on the channel, I think there's a lot of stuff here in America to go ahead and see and visit and do and everything else like that. So I'd like to go ahead and take the time to actually see the vast majority of the country before I go out to other places. The Great Lakes is a good reason to go. It's quite a large attraction. I hope that you enjoy it out there. I don't know if you're strictly just going to Michigan, but if you're in the area, take the time to go ahead and find out about some local cities or festivals or farmers markets and stuff like that that might be coming up. A lot of times when people come to the States, they come for the big main attractions like Great Lakes or, you know, Grand Canyon and stuff like that. But there's a lot of little places along the way that can really help you get a feel for how the States are and stuff. I prefer small towns to the large cities when it comes to exploration. Mainly because you can really get a feel for just the people in that general area based on the tiny towns, you know, small diners that you walk into and everybody knows everybody's names and stuff like that. But I really hope you enjoy your time here. Welcome to the States. If it's your first time, and if not, welcome back. This is crazy that this is literally all I've done is just run all day. You would think my Argonian would have better stuff to do with your time. Traverse City and Lake City and Flint and Detroit. Yeah, Flint I know is a big one, especially with all the controversy. I've never been to the States, actually. There's a lot to see in the States. I know that everybody says that America's not a great place to, like, a lot of people over in Europe, they don't think very highly of America, but there's a lot to see in the United States. It's such a big area. If you don't like one region, go to another. There's bound to be some place you'll run into where the people and you and them will vibe. It's, if you ever want to get a feel for what America is truly like, there's like 6 states you can go to that will tell you everything that you need to know. Go to California, go over to New York, go to Georgia, go to Florida, go to Washington, and go to Texas. I feel like those 6 states will give you the true American experience in all of its majesty and glory. Whether good, bad, or ugly, you will get a feel for pretty much everything has to offer. You could also include Arizona if you ever felt like it, but those places will tell you everything you need to know about what America really feels like. Funny how that troll came and started bashing the Republic. Welcome to the States. That's a pretty good representation of how divided we are right now. Yeah, it's unfortunate because, like, a lot of people tend to go ahead and knock on one side or the other. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't like the people. It's not that you don't like the party. You just don't like the people who are in the party. Like, instead of saying you don't like the party, just aim for the particular people you don't like. That's all. It makes no sense to go... It's like hating an entire group of people. Why would you go ahead and hate on an entire race because you don't like a particular person? It makes no sense. It's the same thing as hating on the political party because you don't like the people involved with it. I mean, you don't like Newt Gingrich, or you don't like Nancy Pelosi. Like, it has nothing to do with you not liking the party. It has everything to do with you not liking the people involved with it and the partisanship and the decisions they're making and stuff like that. But it's just my take on it. I'm sure people don't really agree with me. They're gonna be like, it's all the same. Rabble, rabble, rabble. But whatever. If you were in the American Revolution, would you be a loyalist or a patriot? I mean, I can answer that easy. I mean, I would be a patriot. I mean, that's what my family fought for. I don't think there's anything... I don't think there's anything wrong with countries that have land in other areas and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's kind of the same thing that District of Columbia, BC, is dealing with. Taxation without representation. You know, you cannot go ahead and have... You can't go ahead and take money from people or expect them to go ahead and hand you money without listening to their woes and sorrows. They both come with each other. If you're going to go ahead and own a place, you know, you got to deal with what comes with it. If you rent an apartment, you can't tell your tenants to go fuck off because they're paying you the money. So you have to listen to their problems and their complaints about your thing and do your best to resolve them. And that's kind of the same situation that you were looking at there. England did not do a good job managing the colonists, and when they came over here to escape persecution and to escape a lot of the stuff that they felt were injustices from the UK, or when they came over here to represent the UK and then were consistently told to, you know, shut up and color, give us your money, and do what we tell you. Yeah, it's the same as a landlord saying, hey, your pipe is broken out of water. Yeah, that sucks. You would be a loyalist? I mean, you're from the UK, I assume you'd be a loyalist. I could never speak for something like that. I can only tell you what my family has done, and obviously we were patriotic. But I couldn't even make that decision. Those were times and days and ages well before anything I could possibly imagine. I don't know the circumstances. I don't know any of the stuff. But I mean, I certainly wouldn't want to be the person who decided, you know what, instead of siding with my own country, I'm gonna be a traitor and side with another country. You know, it's really hard when you get down to it as well, because that same argument crops up when you get down to whether you were with the Union or the Confederacy in our history of the Civil War. The Civil War itself has kind of become a contention point where whether you were for or against slavery, but there's a lot involved with that. Not just whether human labor, forced human labor was the big thing, not whether just slavery was the big issue, because it was a huge issue. But there are also a lot of things involved with it. Despite the fact that the North was quote freeing the slaves and everything else, they treated them pretty poorly. And despite the fact that the South had a lot of slavery and everything else, they did tend to treat their slaves better. You know, there was a lot of stuff that went on during that time period that, like I said, I wasn't part of it. I'm never going to be part of it. So there's no way I could ever make a decision based off of that life, because I'll never know it. You'd be a rebel today? Revolution? Well, you know, there are people who tried to do that whole rebel today revolution thing, but you can read about them as they slowly get found, piecemeal. At the end of the day, I'm very much a patriot. I care about the country, and regardless of even if we were still the bad guys, I would have to be loyal to the country, you know. I believe in our country far too much to not. I mean, I believe in the ability for everybody to go and choose their own path and, you know, pursue their own dreams and stuff. Why should I go ahead and try and hamper somebody's dream who just wants to pull themselves out of poverty, or, you know, make sure that their family is remembered or something like that? No need for me to go ahead and crush somebody else's just because I don't agree with their beliefs or whatnot. The only thing I would say is, you know, try not to crush everybody's eggshells on the way. If you want my opinion, I wouldn't include it. So are you not doing the thing where you said you were gonna wait, or are you? It's busy. That's why. It's very busy right now. There's a lot going on. You're an anarchist? Yeah, I don't think you want to say that. You know, that's I mean, they're also not here in the States, so. Actually, you said you are in the States, aren't you, Scout? I would be very careful. They're not exactly recognized as a group of recognized peoples. Let's just say that one. Let's put it that way. Why? And yes, I'm an American. Should I be scared of Big Brother? As a very extremely loyal person to the state, I am scared of Big Brother. I mean, hell, I work for the man, and I'm still scared of the man. You should never go ahead and... You should trust a couple things from your government. You should trust that they will go ahead and try their best to take care of you as a citizen, but you should also trust that they will do their best to protect their country over their citizenry. So, yeah, it's one of those things that you should always expect it. So, cannot speak for any one person in particular, but I personally would do my best not to show up on any of Big Brother's radars, period. I mean, it's funny because the whole Big Brother concept, you know, that's why I like it off the grid, free from the man's thumb. I don't trust anything they do. Well, I mean, that's a whole extreme to itself, too. You know, you can't go ahead and be like, I can't trust anything that they ever do. Because, I mean, hell, they've done a lot of good for the country. Maybe not always agree with everything that's being done, or maybe not feel like it's for the best, but at the end of the day, they're still trying to keep the country going. Regardless of the individual people, sure, there is no country without its people. But if there's no country, there are no people. You will go ahead and exist there. Even the Native Americans who were here prior, they still had their own tribes and everything else. And if, you know, the tribe didn't exist, the people didn't exist. If the people didn't exist, the tribe didn't exist. You're just messing around. It's hard to tell over the thing. Either way, I still approach it with the best. You wish that you didn't know how to speak Russian? I wish I knew how to speak Russian. That would be pretty cool. I mean, I think the top 5 languages, I think, like, English, Russian, Chinese, Spanish, and there was one, and Arabic. I think with those 5 languages, you can pretty much get anywhere and do anything you want in the world. You know, if you'll find somebody who speaks one of those 5 languages, no matter where you go in the world. I remember once my dad said that somebody had bet him he couldn't go ahead and find his way around the world only speaking Spanish. And they had just set sail, or they had just docked in Bay, and I think it was in France. And he walked off of the boat, started speaking Spanish, and the first person he ran into spoke Spanish. So it was just funny. So I think between those 5 languages you can do a lot of stuff. I've always wanted to go ahead and speak Russian. Just thought it was one of those languages. Gotta go now, some black suits are poking around my property. Ukraine and Russia? Yes, I understand Ukraine and Russia, but you shouldn't go ahead and wish that you didn't speak a particular language just because it's the same thing that I just went over earlier. You can blame a particular people, or you can blame a particular person. There are a lot of the Russians themselves are not to blame for what is happening. A particular person who is Russian is to blame for what is happening. So there's nothing wrong with the Russians. There is everything wrong with the Russians doing what they are doing. Don't hate the people, hate the action, hate the person. That's the particular thing. Now, this is not to say you don't go out there and go hating on everybody just because, but I really have to go goodbye. Alright, we'll catch you later, Scout. Thanks for popping in. Obviously, you know it'll be like half an hour we'll be ending out ourselves, so. But yeah, I think there's nothing wrong with speaking Russian or anything. I mean, knowing a language is fine. It helps you grow as a person. I wouldn't worry anything about it. And if somebody brings it up, oh, you know, you shouldn't know Russian, and be like, give them the exact same speech that I just did. Tell them that, you know, you shouldn't be hating on the Russian people. You should be hating on a singular Russian person. You should be hating on the person who put the predicament in place, not the people who are forced into the situation. You know, it's like saying you hate the Germans because of the leader during World War II. But like, you don't hate the Germans, you hate Hitler. That's just how it is. So, anyway. never be ashamed of the effort and time that you've put into learning something or being who you've become. Oh, trees. Man, this is such a long journey. I just want to get there already. Okay, guys, I need to use the restroom. So, I'm gonna go ahead and heal up here, and I'm gonna let this coast for a bit, and I will be back shortly. Alright, I'm back, guys. Ah, goodness. What happened? Still running? Yep, still running. Still running. We are running across the wasteland. We are running across the forest. We are running across the plains. We still running. We are running to our goal. We are running to make landfall. We are running to be whole. Hey, hey, hey. We are running because we love to run. We are running because it's very fun. We are running everywhere because we like to use our feet. Yeah. Yep, still running. Still doing what I do. And I still have like 26 minutes worth of running left to go. Was it okay? Bless you, girl. I don't even know if we're gonna... I literally don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it to Scorched Barrow within this episode. I may just run and not even make it to the place I'm trying to get to. It's fucking crazy. I'm wondering if I could get one of the random letters that's going to be delivered by the agents of the Underking. I wonder if they'll find me out on the road like everybody else has. Or if it's just something that I'm going to have to, like, stop into a town to get hit with. What's that hideous face in the screen? That, my good sir, is a soul that I happen to be carrying in my inventory. So, I got sent by this necromancer to go kill a lich. People are talking about politics. I see. Messy business. Yeah, but, like, it happens occasionally, you know? Not my preferred topic, but it happens. So yeah, this necromancer sent me to go kill a lich, to go capture his soul in an item, and this is to let me know I've got the guy's soul in my inventory, so that way I can go turn it in. Yep, so I'm gonna hand this soul over. But yeah, like, I don't usually like talking politics, but basically some dude came in, you know, trying to be big dick edgelord and just spouting off all kinds of crazy bullshit that was unnecessary. and yeah. You know, that's the one thing I've always given. I give people the big benefit of a doubt. I don't know what they're going through in their lives. I don't know why they're doing some of the stuff they do. When people come in here, I don't like the way he looks. Shit, I don't like the way he looks either. He's been sitting here staring at me the whole time. You know, if you like squint your eyes, I don't know. There's no good way to make him look different. I think the funnier part is that where I think the wrinkles are that are supposed to make him look old just kind of makes him look like he has a mustache, a very dirty mustache. But yeah, when people jump in about that kind of stuff, like, I always give everybody the benefit of doubt. Even the trolls who come into the channel, I do my best to go ahead and find out what's wrong with them and hear their opinions and stuff like that. Would you rather put your hand in lava or step on a puppy? Absolutely keep murder that puppy in the concept of not having a soul. Is there anything at stake with the lava or the puppy? And my next question is, like... No. I'm gonna step on the puppy. Because I wasn't told how hard I have to step on the puppy, I'm just going to gently step on the puppy and be on my merry way. Unless you're telling me that there's a certain pressure I have to be putting on the puppy. Wow, that's a Freudian slip if I ever seen one. Shane, I feel like you're starting to go a particular way. Because I definitely saw that I didn't tell you how hard you had to step on me, and then you corrected it to step on the dog. You okay there, Shane? You doing all right? I feel like you're about to step down the simping rabbit hole here. Damn, this is my second nighttime here. Ooh, hold on. Is it gonna be a town or something? Zagigora. Zagigora. It was a mistake. My hand slipped. How did your hand slip to say step on me instead of step on the dog? Listen, if it slipped, that means it was an autocorrect, which means that you've been typing step on me a lot. Is this the same kind of slip that people do when they fall into the washing machine? Oh no, I tripped. What's the Moon Crew? Just the name of the regulars and the followers and stuff.
Oh my god.
What?
So it's Moon Crew, right?
Yeah.
It's usually on full moon.
Yeah.
What if the little dog he's a werewolf, but that's what he turns into. It's like a big bad wolf and just like a nerf dog. I like that.
Listen here, man, the device mistook me for saying the word me. Ah, okay.
Okay.
Okay, I got
Whatever
it.
the sip says.
No. Listen, don't listen to her. I understand. Now that I know that you're using, voice to text, that makes a lot of sense. You literally use voice to text.
In a YouTube chat.
But yeah, Moon Crew, it basically started when, a bunch of people were going crazy in the thing, and then somebody said, pure lunacy and moon and stuff like that. So, Moon Crew just kind of stuck, and now that's just the name of the people.
I think her schedule's been all thrown off because of that.
Yeah.
You keep following me around like usual.
She's back to normal now.
I think she's back to normal after 2 poops.
Oh, another poop?
Yeah.
Wow.
Lots of poop. Yeah, I know this is exactly what chat was.
We're talking about our dog. She's, trying to get her back on a regular schedule with us, so.
I do not know which is which.
What do you mean? Just open it up and you'll find out.
On the same devices.
Yeah, but we arrange them differently. That one's probably mine. Strap down instead of strap over.
Yeah, this one's definitely yours. It's fucking jammed in there, all sorts of bits which
Yeah.
way.
Yep, that's how I do it. I just jam my bits in there all which ways. Power is the money. Power is the money is the power. Minute after minute. Hour after hour. Hour. Welp. Hive mind. How you doing, hater? How's your life been? How's your weekend? All of that stuff. Doing all right? Yeah, it has been, I mean, chat today has been pretty fucking over the top. But, yeah, like, in terms of the stream, it has been boring as fuck. We've been running through the field the entire time. So, I've literally trying to just run to this necromancer, and I still can't reach it this entire time. Doing great because I got full marks and everything. My plan of being good at school is going good. I'm glad that you're doing so well in school. So what are you trying to go ahead and do? Are you doing this because you're trying to get a good position, or are you doing this for education purposes? What's your plan for all this good behavior and good grades at school? It's okay. I understood what you're doing. Made sense to me. So, Hater, I should let you know, since you are here, from here on out, I will be doing, because I want to have the best average, and I promise the Prince will be one of the highest marks. Okay. No, that's good. That's good. That's good. Makes sense. So, just want to let you know, since you were here, obviously, same schedule, Monday through Saturday. I'm only going to be doing 3-hour streams. At maximum a 4-hour stream at most, but I think 3-hour streams is as far as I'm gonna go ahead and go, because you know I tend to go ahead and get locked up in whatever I'm doing, and time passes by, and I'd like the time to go ahead and do stuff on my own side. So from here on, that's what we're looking at. Yeah, it may take a little longer to get some stuff done, and to really get places because of the 3-hour time limit, but hey, I have entered Kilikarat. What is this place, and how big are you? Been 3 hours already. Kind of, it's 2 hours and 50 minutes on my side, you know, and I'm pretty much, I'm trying to keep it on the dot here. So even though it may not be the exact time, it's still 2 hours and something. So there's still time. But Malevolence of Mara, we're not going to step foot in there. Risk getting killed there. Emperor's Pawn Shop. Champion Market. Sell. Sell in the wagon. Adamantium. Daikatana. Warhammer. Sword. Arrow. 19,000. Sure. What you got, my dude? Nothing? Nothing. I can't imagine them having anything that I'd really be interested in at this point. Oh, the Emperor's Pawn Shop just closed, didn't it? Sure did. Retail store. Let's look for an actual, like... If they have an armor shop, that's what I'll care about. Superior Supply. Dr. Deuce Gear, First Class Supply. Nah. An armor shop is really what I care about. Adventure supplies. Essential gear. Nope. Champion's Hawk Shop. There's a lot of pawn shops in essential use supplies. Yeah, there are a lot of pawn shops. Because people really need money these days, huh? Vintage used merchandise. Old broke gear. That is also the alternative name for your shop. The bank. Nope, we're still going out. So nothing in this area. Ouch. That merchant reminds me of Ben Franklin. All of the merchants look the same. Although I can see the resemblance. I think my favorite drama YouTube is some TikTok I've never heard of and why I should hate them, and that's the pinnacle of content right now. Listen, drama right now is the pinnacle of content. I don't know if you've heard, but somebody got done slapped. So that's the pinnacle of drama right now. Is one man slapping another. So. She was going. We're going. Oh, it went right under the thing. Hit my foot, yep. That's pretty much going to be everywhere. That's kind of why I haven't talked about it, because, like, that's all anyone's going to hear. Comedian got slapped for making a joke. I guess that is a more accurate representation of exactly what happened. Also, Orctimus Prime, welcome. Nice to see you. We were actually having a discussion about you on the way to the convention. American television. Because there's this DJ that was at the convention. His name was Awesomus Prime. And it was really funny. I don't think she likes it. It was funny because you also make music as well. And I was talking about how I think that, you know, if I were to go ahead and do some stuff, no one cares about the Oscars. Listen, some people care about Oscar. I mean, personally, I don't care about the award ceremony. It's a bunch of people jerking themselves off, talking about how they're jerking other people off. And then they explain all the people who helped them jerk themselves off. And jerk those other people off, too. That's pretty much the Oscars, in a nutshell. Obviously, I'm never going to the Oscars. Man, fucking 20 years from now, if I'm standing up on stage at the Oscars and somebody brings up this clip, I'm going to have egg on my face. But yeah, we were just sitting there talking about your stuff. And I really like your music, so... yeah, I was thinking about asking if you do, like, commissions or stuff for music. I'd have to figure out what exactly I want. Awesomus Prime is my stepbro. But yeah, I was thinking about that, but I gotta figure out what I want to do with it, and if you do that kind of stuff or not, so... power of increased stamina, that's why he wasn't phased. Yeah. That's it. He was truly just doing the Red Guard thing, so. Alright. Well, Orximus, just want to go ahead and let you know. Yeah, I do commissions. Alright, cool. That's good to know. If you've got business info or business contacts on the thing, I'll hit you up with it when I've come up with something, but I've got to think of what I want to do and whatnot there. Anyway, Orximus, just want to let you know, the schedule is now, we're going to be doing 3-hour streams from here on, maybe 4 hours at the most, but I'm going to try and actually get some good time to myself here, to do things that I want and would like to do. So, no, stop that. What are you doing? I didn't hit the tilde. So, yeah, for any of you guys who are new, like and sub. We're going to be doing this every day, Monday through Saturday. Obviously, I've changed my stream times to 3-hour streams, so I hope this doesn't kill off all of my people across the pond. But, you know, tune in, let me know what you think, leave feedback, blah, 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 all that stuff. For you returning regulars, thank you guys for taking the time out, and I hope you guys have had a good weekend. I hope the rest of the week is pretty good, and I will see you all tomorrow. Since I've developed an immunity to something I think is emotional, my emails and YouTube, I only take septums. Alright, sounds good. Anyway, guys, just remember, when your favorite streamer isn't streaming, I will be. Hopefully